Hello, Gold Derby. Welcome back to another episode of Awards Magnet. I am Senior Editor Marcus James Dixon.
And I am Senior Editor Denton Davidson. And today we are talking drama with drama,
And there's really not a lot of drama with drama, I realize. A lot of our picks are the same, but we do disagree in a few categories.
including Best Drama Series, which, I mean, that's the real hot race. So it's exciting to talk about that.
Before we get into that, we do have a fan question. You could email us at any time at awardsmagnet@goldderby.com. This question comes from Jonathan Seidel, longtime listener, longtime fan. Thank you for writing in. So he has a question about the episode submissions. And he says, "Hey guys, great job so far. I've emailed a few times before with Joyce and Chris. So here are my observations." He goes into a lot of observations about the comedy categories. So we will read some of those next week when we cover comedy. But he does mention something about drama. So let's get into that. He says, Adam Scott submitted perfectly for Severance with the season finale, Cold Harbor. But he feels like Tremel Tillman had better material with episode 2, Goodbye, Mrs. Selvig, and not the submitted penultimate episode, The After Hours, which Zach Cherry also submitted. Personally, when I think of Tremel's performance in season 2 of Severance, the thing that always comes to mind is that marching band scene in the finale. I don't know. He had a lot of material, though. He had a lot of great episodes to choose from. So I guess we'll see if he wins, whether or not, he made the right choice.
I think the question really is, does episode submission matter anymore? And the answer is probably no. I think Emmy voters are already watching certain shows, and this is definitely one of them. So if Tremel is doing something more interesting in one episode versus the other, they're not paying attention to this like they used to. There used to be these formal episode submissions where Emmy voters had to watch the episode submissions. That's why you would get a surprise, like when Merritt Weaver won for Nurse Jackie. Was that like this?
Yeah, I think she was in 7th place in our odds, and she won.
So, I mean, it's when you have to watch an episode, you might be taken by a performance that you otherwise just aren't going to watch. And sadly, that's the case now with a lot of Emmy voters. They're just not going to see all of these performances. But if they like Severance, they're going to see Tremel Tillman and Zach Cherry. So they're going to pick one of those two anyway. So we don't think episode submission really matters anymore, but it is still interesting to see what they choose. And I do agree that Adam Scott's episode is killer.
Oh yeah, he has throughout the season he plays two characters like most of these people on Severance do, or two versions of the same character, I should say. And in that finale, both of the versions go at each other over video, and it's just so good. And he's probably in either first or second place to win, which we'll talk about later. Jonathan also says, kind of what you just said. As we know, episode submissions don't really matter anymore ever since 2015, but he still believes you should submit your best work of the season overall, no matter what. I agree 100%. All right, so thank you for writing in, and anybody at any time you can contact us at awardsmagnet@goldderby.com. So Denton, drama with drama. Let's start out with the big one, Best Drama Series. What are you predicting and why?
I mean, I'm predicting Severance. And the why is because it has the most nominations. It's beloved across the board. I know there's this argument people are saying that it's too sci-fi. It's not the traditional type of drama that Emmy voters might go for, but I disagree. Like, I'm not necessarily a huge sci-fi fan, but I mean, I love Severance. Everyone I know loves Severance. So I just think you can't ignore the quantity of the nominations. And I know The Pit is a great new show, but I'm just not there with people like yourself who are predicting The Pit. So why are you going there?
Well, first of all, I love both of these shows. I love Severance. It's wild, it's wacky, it's fun, it's original. 27 nominations is a ton. And, I'm really happy because when a show I love gets loved by the Emmys, it kind of gives me like hope. There's hope in this world because the thing I like is being rewarded. The Pit, 13 nominations is really good for a first year show. It's not the best it could have done. It missed out on some key nominations like picture editing and some of those acting contenders, but it gives you the throwback feel to dramas of like when we were growing up, like the ER, the Chicago Hopes, not so much Grey's Anatomy, but it really is kind of like this nostalgic feeling. And I feel like a lot of the older voters in the Academy will go for the pit. The breakdown of Emmy voters is interesting because I don't think a lot of them are older. I think they're more like, average age. So if they want something that makes them feel nostalgic, they're going to go with the pit. If they want
something that made you feel nostalgic, won Best Drama Series. Did Shogun make you feel nostalgic? Did Succession make you feel nostalgic? Like they want some edge. We're in a new era. I mean, I will say this: the pit is not ER. It's like there is definitely some edge in the pit. So I'm just, for the argument's sake, saying, I mean, do they want that kind of throwback? I don't know.
I mean, I have Severance in second place, so I think it's either going to be one of those, and I would be happy either way, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because the experts and users are divided on this. I mean, you're agreeing with most of the experts. The Emmy experts are on the side of the pit, so you're not alone, definitely. And I'm sort of on the side of the users here with people predicting Severance. And the one thing that I couldn't ignore is the number of acting nominations and how the pit just did not get that same type of appreciation on the acting categories, which is the biggest branch of the Academy. And I mean, when you have someone like Zach Cherry, who is not expected to get in, and the pit doesn't have those unexpected nominees that Severance has, where right. I was expecting Severance to get a lot more maybe technical nominations and creative arts. That wouldn't have been surprising, but to see all of these acting nominations and things like that above the line, that is what is pushing me in the direction of Severance here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Patrick Ball would have been a great nomination for the pit, and he got snubbed, unfortunately. And, it seems like everyone on Severance got nominated except for one or two people. Christopher Walken missed out. Dixon, is that how you pronounce her name? She missed out. But everyone, even Patricia Arquette, who I don't know why the writers wrote her out of the season pretty much. She was hardly in it, but she still got nominated, which just tells you either it was a name check nomination or they just loved the show so much that they wanted to give Patty another nom.
Yeah. I mean, they just love her. I think she's always in at the Emmys, and I mean, she was winning back for Medium. That would be unheard of now, winning for a network show like that. Or is it unheard of to win for a network show? We're going to get to that with Best Actress again this year.
Do we agree that Kathy Bates is winning, and how confident are you percentage-wise?
I feel very confident. I mean, I've been very confident until everyone started saying I shouldn't be confident because it is Matlock's only nomination, and that is the big argument. But I would say I'm like 90% confident. Like, I'm not changing. There's no way I'm changing my prediction. I might be wrong. That's why they opened the envelope. I mean, anything can happen. There's the nominations are still there, but I am not being swayed off of Kathy Bates, who's just beloved in the industry. She's leading a network show in her 70s, #1 in the time slot. I mean, come on. What's not to love?
When she won the Oscar for Misery, she was the only nomination for Misery, which is very interesting because she's now the only nomination for Matlock, which I'm a Matlock fan. I'll just admit it right now. I love the original. I love the new one. I feel like Matlock should have gotten in a couple more places, but is that going to hurt her? No. Tatiana Maslany was the only nomination for Orphan Black, and she was able to win this exact same category. So it's possible. It happens. And let's go ahead and mention all the episodes, because at Gold Derby, you can look in our forums. We've got them listed. Each actor has to submit one episode for the Emmy voters to judge. Kathy Bates submitted I Was That Too. That was a killer episode. That's where she gets uncovered. She plays two versions of herself. Like, she plays the sweet old lady Matlock, and then she plays the rich woman who's trying to take down this legal firm. So that was a perfect episode. I think the pilot would have been good too, but this one's great. Sharon Horgan for Bad Sisters submitted Boom. Britt Lauer for Severance submitted Attila. Bella Ramsey, The Last of Us, submitted Convergence, and Carrie Russell for The Diplomat submitted St. Paul's. Who do you think is in second place here?
Well, according to our odds, Britt Lauer is in seventh place. And for like leading up into phase two, before the nominations, it had been Bella Ramsey. But I think there's just sort of this feeling that The Last of Us has gone down a tier maybe in how Emmy voters are feeling about it. And also with the fact that Severance did so well, if there is any sort of a sweep, Britt Lauer can go along for that sweep. So that's why Britt Lauer could still win this. If there's a Severance surge and they just win everything like Shogun did, then Britt Lauer is going to be right up there. And Kathy Bates, we will see lose, like as she did to Anna Sawai at the SAG Awards when Shogun swept the SAG Awards, because people would say if Kathy Bates should have won anything, it would be the SAG Award. I mean, that's her demographic. They love those legends. But Anna Sawai, thankfully Anna Sawai is not here, but now we have Britt Lauer.
Yeah, that I remember the SAG Awards. We were all thinking, because Kathy also got that movie limited nomination for the Jessica Lange movie that no one watched. The fact that she got in for that was absolutely insane. But yeah, Anna went along with that Shogun sweep at SAG, which there wasn't a similar sweep at the Critics' Choice Awards where Kathy won that. There could be a Severance sweep. Remember The Crown swept every single drama category at the Primetime Emmys 4 or 5 years ago. I don't think a lot of people predicted that, especially Tobias Menzies winning supporting. That was a huge shocker. So Britt could do it. She also plays two versions of the same character. Yeah, she's in my second place choice. I would love for Britt to win. I don't know though, because Kathy Bates is the veteran. She's the one that everyone loves, and there would be a standing ovation in that room. If
I mean, and we've seen it, like you said, with Tatiana Maslany. I mean, Viola Davis. This reminds me of her winning for How to Get Away with Murder. You know, the hit sort of mystery network show. So, I mean, she just fits the bill. But is it 100%? Absolutely not. I do think Britt Lauer is in a solid second place, and I think it'll be tougher for Bella Ramsey, Carrie Russell, or Sharon Horgan.
The last person from a CBS show to win Best Drama Actress was Juliana Margulies, The Good Wife, who was playing a lawyer. There you go. Okay, Drama Actor. The nominees are, with their episodes, Sterling K. Brown, Paradise, The Day, Gary Oldman, Slow Horses, Identity Theft, Pedro Pascal, The Last of Us, The Price, Adam Scott, Severance, Cold Harbor, we talked about him earlier, and Noah Wyle, The Pit, 9 p.m. What do you think, Scott or Wyle?
In this category, I am going with The Pit and Noah Wyle. I think he just has the more that emotional, traditional type of performance. I think this is where they reward The Pit in a major way. And sadly, I think that could come at the expense of Adam Scott. But look out for Sterling K. Brown, who wins things that he's never expecting to win all at the time. So it probably won't happen this year, but Sterling K. Brown is an awards magnet, to throw a pun in there. And I think Gary Oldman and Pedro Pascal are sort of along for the ride in this.
So it's interesting that Noah Wyle submitted the 9 p.m. episode, because I thought he would have submitted the one where he has sort of the meltdown, the panic attack in the peds room, which was the 7 p.m. episode. So I don't know if episodes matter. Maybe he picked the wrong one. Maybe not. I guess we'll see on Emmy night. Sterling K. Brown, the fact that not only is he nominated, but Julianne Nicholson and James Marsden from his show just tells you the acting branch really loved Paradise.
Yeah, Paradise was the unexpected surprise that I loved about this Emmy season, because all through phase one, I was saying Julianne Nicholson, she'll never get in, but she really should. And then to see that she actually did get nominated, and then Sterling, of course, people expected that. But I was really thrilled to see Paradise do as well as it did. So, I mean, maybe it can pull off a surprise on Emmy night as well.
But yeah, Adam Scott picked the perfect episode. That whole sequence where his characters are sort of interacting with each other was iconic television. Pedro Pascal, I don't know. I feel like maybe should he have gone supporting? There was a huge debate about that during The Last of Us airing.
Yeah, I mean, now that he's lead, he's sort of stuck in that lead category. So it's an unfortunate situation. I don't think Pedro has any chance in this category. But better luck. I mean, you listen. He's in the number one movie in America now. So who who needs The Last of Us when you're in the Fantastic Four?
Okay, drama supporting actress. This is one where we're both going against the odds, which is wild that we're both doing this, but we can both explain why.
Tsunami. I mean, I was thinking about this last night.
Me too.
California was getting tsunami advisories and warnings. And what did I think of before, like my life? I thought of Parker Posey. So, I mean, that's the reason I'm predicting Parker Posey. She's the Jennifer Coolidge character of The White Lotus this year. She's the one where we remember. Carrie Coon, great monologue, great performance that we will not remember in a year from now. Parker Posey, like that voice is going to be in your head forever.
I literally posted, someone's getting an Emmy boost. Stay safe, everyone. Hashtag tsunami for Parker Posey. She is, I mean, she's the Jennifer Coolidge of season three. And we know how much they loved the quirky, fun character that went viral in season one and in season two. So why not? And by the way, the other nominees, Patricia Arquette, Severance, Sweet Vitriol, Carrie Coon, The White Lotus, Amor Fati, Catherine Lanassa, The Pit, 9 p.m., Julianne Nicholson, Paradise, Sinatra. Parker Posey submitted the Full Moon Party episode. And then Natasha Rothwell and Amy Lou Wood, both from The White Lotus, submitted the episode Amor Fati. And the odds have Carrie Coon because I think because of that finale speech where she kind of breaks down at the dinner table. But no one was really talking about that character until the finale.
And even since then, I mean, I have Amy Lou Wood in third. I mean, she's the person everyone talked about after the series. So, I mean, people love Amy Lou Wood. There's a lot of great feeling and goodwill towards her in the industry right now. So, I mean, I think people, that's another issue for Carrie Coon and frankly, Parker Posey. I mean, this would be a perfect scenario where someone could just like shockingly win here because there might be enough support for Parker, Carrie, and Amy Lou to fracture this completely, and then you might see someone like a Catherine Lanassa or even Julianne Nicholson slip through here, which would be exciting. But I mean,
and you remember when SNL made fun of Amy Lou Wood's teeth and that went viral? I think everyone wanted to hug her, and that's a way to win an Emmy. If you get people wanting to hug you, they can easily vote for you. Okay, best drama supporting actor. We have Zach Cherry, Severance, The After Hours, Walton Goggins, The White Lotus for Amor Fati. Jason Isaacs submitted that same episode. James Marsden, Parasite the Day, Sam Rockwell, The White Lotus, Full Moon Party, Tremel Tillman, Severance, The After Hours, and John Turturro, Severance, Woes Hollow. Walton Goggins, you think?
yeah, this feels like a Walton Goggins runaway, and I would be happy for him. It would be his first Emmy win. And I think Tremel Tillman is probably a close second. I mean, I think for season one, John Turturro was favored to win until he didn't. So I think he's probably less of a threat. And then Sam Rockwell, I mean, listen, people are saying he's basically a guest in this, like guest actor, but he was just in enough episodes to qualify for supporting actor, so they had to put him here. But he's Sam Rockwell. I mean, he could still win. Like, if there's going to be an upset, I actually kind of think it could be Sam Rockwell here.
I mean, that he gave that speech that went viral, and back in the old days when episodes mattered, speeches were how to win. James Spader won 3 times for giving those epic closing arguments on The Practice and Boston Legal. So, I mean, you're right. Sam could do it, but
Also the subject matter he was discussing. It was like the whole thing is very memorable. So I mean, I think Sam Rockwell is higher he's ranked second to last right now. I don't think he's second to last. Like I disagree with that. I think he's definitely in the race and in the top 4 at least.
I think there's also an aspect of kind of a career achievement award for Walton Goggins because of so many things. He's been in The Shield and Justified, and he's never won before. which is a little bit shocking. Also Fallout. So if he wins, it's a little bit based on performance, which he was really good in The White Lotus, and it's a little bit based on, this guy's never won before. Let's finally give him the trophy. So let's continue on with acting. We have guest actress Jane Alexander, Severance, Sweet Vitriol; Gwendolyn Christie, Severance, Cold Harbor; Caitlin Dever, The Last of Us, Through the Valley; Cherry Jones, The Handmaid's Tale, Exile; Catherine O'Hara, The Last of Us, Future Days; and Merritt Weaver, Severance, Who Is Alive. We disagree on this category, so this one should be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I could actually be persuaded here. I'm not really certain where I stand. At the moment, I'm going with Caitlin Dever for The Last of Us. She is the favorite, although I'm very weary about this show doing much of anything. So I don't know that I'm going to keep her there. And what's interesting is I have Catherine O'Hara for The Last of Us in second. So I'm thinking like maybe it's Merritt Weaver or Gwendolyn Christie for Severance. I mean, you have Merritt Weaver. Tell me why. Maybe you can talk me out of this because I'm not really sure where I want to go.
Both times Merritt Weaver won the Emmy, it was a huge shocker. She was in last place for Nurse Jackie and she won. I remember her speech was like, I gotta go, bye. Like 4 words. She had no idea she was going to win. Maybe she looked at a Gold Derby's odds and we steered her the wrong way. And then she won for Godless. And I don't remember who was predicted to win that year, but I don't think it was her. Someone in the comments, please be nice. If you correct me, please just be nice about it. That's all I ask. Sometimes I make mistakes. But yeah, I think Merritt Weaver, because the voters absolutely love her. And she has those tender scenes with Jack Cherry's character. And the fact that Zach Cherry got in, is that because he's really good or because they loved his scenes with Merritt Weaver? Did they help each other by having so many moments together? It's possible. And I will say Caitlin Dever, she's such a great actress. She's so young. She has so many places to go with this career. Her character was very, very disliked. And that comes with playing a villain. That comes with playing somebody that kills off a major character. But sometimes villains do win Emmy Awards, like Margot Martindale on Justified. Brilliant villain. Michael Emerson on Lost and on The Practice. John Lithgow on Dexter. If it's a villain we love, they could win. But I think Caitlin's character as a villain we didn't like. So I wonder if that's going to hurt her.
It could. And then you've got, name check Cherry Jones. She's always she's won 3 Emmys. So, is she like The Handmaid's Tale only nomination?
Only nomination, yes.
So, it would be interesting, but it is Cherry Jones. And the fact that she got nominated at all says something about where she is in this race as well. So, always respect for Cherry.
Yeah. I could hear people yelling at us because we're not predicting Gwendolyn Christie. Look, it's possible. She got in for Game of Thrones. I think she was a self-submitter that year. HBO didn't submit her, so she's like, I'm doing it myself. She got nominated.
I think this category is wide open. I really do. I think any one of these 6, nothing could shock me from this category.
I just hope Gwendolyn brings a goat with her to the Emmy as her +1. We all want to see her with a goat. The last acting category for drama is drama guest actor. We have Giancarlo Esposito for The Boys, Beware the Jabberwocky; Scott Glenn for The White Lotus, Killer Instincts; Sean Hattasey for The Pit, 9 p.m., Joe Pantoliano for The Last of Us, The Price; Forrest Whitaker, Andor, I Have Friends Everywhere; and Jeffrey Wright, The Last of Us, Day 1.
I have Sean Hattasey, The Pit. I think this is a strong category that The Pit can easily take. It's interesting because Jeffrey Wright was leading this all the way up to nominations. So that's kind of telling us where The Last of Us is going. It's going down. So unfortunately, and Sean Hattasey is now the front runner. So I'm going with that. I have Scott Glenn actually in second place for The White Lotus, and then I have Jeffrey in third. I think it's going to be a tougher sell for Giancarlo, Forrest, or Joe here.
It's funny. I love The Boys. It's one of my favorite shows, but Giancarlo's nomination was a huge surprise to me. So congrats that he was able to make it in. I would say between the two Last of Us guys, I think Joe Pantoliano has a better chance because his character was more sympathetic. He was the one who, he got bit, and Joel, spoiler alert, Joel murdered him, and Catherine O'Hara freaked out because, hey, you just killed my husband. Jeffrey Wright's character, I feel like was less developed. I think we're going to see him more in season 3. Hopefully we will. But yeah, I'm going with Sean Hannity. He's kind of the heart of the pit. He appeared in the premiere and a few episodes at the end, and it was such a great moment when he returned to the show. I guess his character was sleeping because it takes place over 15 hours. He got to go home and go to sleep, people.
If you could take a nap for a few hours, I mean, you could miss half the season.
Exactly. He came back. He had that moment on the rooftop with Noah Wiley. And then they were sharing a beer in the park. It's just kind of like a bro role. And I loved it. I would love to see him win. He's been working for a long, long time. This is his first nomination. Should we talk about writing and directing, Denton?
I mean, we could quickly. I feel like it's Severance versus The Pit for the most part. How are you feeling about that? I think I have Severance for both.
I do have Cold Harbor winning both for Severance. Severance has 2 for directing. I don't know if that's going to matter because Cold Harbor, the finale, was so respected and heralded and talked about. So I think if Severance is going to win one of those, it's going to be for Cold Harbor. The Pit also has 2. They have 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. And if you're a voter and you're just seeing times, I don't know if the voter specifically knows which one's which.
Those episode titles are very confusing. Like, I don't, as someone who just didn't really pay that close of attention to the time, I guess, I have to go look at what those are. So I feel like...
Right. The fact that they have 2 in directing and 2 in writing and the titles don't help you out, I think that's going to be a vote split situation. That's going to hurt the Pit and really help Severance in both of these categories.
I agree.
Last year's Slow Horses surprised a lot of people, although some people did predict it for writing, and it's back again with Hello Goodbye. That could be our dark horse for writing if Severance doesn't win. I have Slow Horses in second.
I mean, I have Slow Horses in fourth, but you're right. The odds have it in last place. Probably not wise, considering it is like the returning champion here. I have it in fourth. It could definitely sneak in there and win. So,
and then we have The White Lotus in both directing and writing. Andor is in both as well. So good for Andor getting in there.
I will say Slow Horses did sort of underperform this year. I feel like last season it was sort of its big Emmys breakout. And then this year, like, Jack Loudon didn't get in.
So Jonathan Pryce was, I think, predicted to get in, and he didn't.
Right. So, I think Slow Horses is up against maybe some stronger competition than it was previously.
And the last category in our prediction center at Gold Derby that we are going to talk about is casting. And I know some people are probably clicking off, but this casting category is really, really important. I was looking back at just the last 10 years. 7 out of those 10, the show that won drama casting went on to win drama series.
You have those up, by the way, because I'm actually more interested in the 3 that didn't. Can we do a quick check on that? I would like to know the 3 winners that did not win Best Series but won Best Casting, because that's the data that I feel like I could find more useful now that we have nominees that include Severance, which has lost this category for season 1 before, The White Lotus, which won for season 2, but it's a completely different show this season, and then The Last of Us and The Slow Horses in The Pit. So
I'll go category. I'll go year by year. So Shogun last year won both. Congratulations, Shogun. 2023, The White Lotus season 2 won casting. Succession season 4 won drama. And I think we know why. Because The White Lotus each year has a brand new cast, so they get to reinvent themselves. It's almost like a brand new show in that respect each year. Whereas Succession on its 4th season, they brought in some new guest stars, of course, but the cast has already been established. So that one's not surprising that would have happened. 2022, we had Succession win both. Good for that. 2021, The Crown won both. 2020, Succession won both. So exciting. This is great podcast here. 2019, we had Game of Thrones win both. 2018, here we go. This is a split. 2018, The Crown season 2. So that was the second installment with Claire Foy. That won casting, but Game of Thrones won series.
So I have The White Lotus winning casting, and the reason is because I feel like Severance is going to win drama series. Now, if I had The Pitt winning drama series, I might go with The Pitt for casting, and it could still be The Pitt for casting and Severance for drama or any other combination. But for me, why I'm not choosing Severance, even though I'm predicting it for drama series, is because it's already lost casting before, and it's got a lot of the same cast back. So I think The White Lotus always does such a tremendous job at casting. Look at all the acting nominations. To replenish the cast with an all-new cast says something. And I mean, it's an all-star, rock star cast. And then in second place, I have The Pitt because it's just the most beloved new show of this group.
And the third time in the past 10 years where they split was 2017. Stranger Things won casting. And that makes sense because of all the kids they had to create out of nowhere, basically. And then 2017, the drama series winner was The Handmaid's Tale. So you're going with The White Lotus for casting, which I totally understand. And you could be right. I'm going with The Pitt just because, a lot, other than Noah Wyle and Sean Hannity, none of these doctors or patients for that matter were very, noticeable, famous names in the industry. And they had to really dig deep to find some of these people. And they did such a great job. That's why I'm going with The Pitt.
So you're going with the least famous cast, and I'm going with the most famous cast.
I mean, I think one of us is going to be right. I do have Severance in third place, so it wouldn't surprise me because of the amount of acting nominations Severance did get this year. But I think we're onto something maybe with The White Lotus and The Pitt. I think it's going to be one of those two.
I agree.
Okay, Denton. So any final thoughts on drama? We have made our predictions, but we can maybe change them in the next week or so.
There's time, and I will. I mean, there's a few of these categories we talked about. I have to go re-examine all of my thoughts, especially those guest categories. So listen, this party's just getting started. We're coming around the bend. Final voting doesn't start until the end of August. So we'll have plenty of discussions. And as you said, next week, we're going to dive into more of the comedy categories.
Yeah. So the studio versus Hacks. That'll be exciting.
So the bear's still there.
Oh, is it?
Thanks for listening to Awards Magnet, Gold Derby podcast. Like what you heard? Leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Awards Magnet is produced by Andrew Merrill. Our logo is designed by Chelsea Sakura. Please like and subscribe to stay on top of all the awards news and email us at awardsmagnet@goldderby.com.